5 reasons I got the Capital One Savor One. What's up, guys? Luke here with Luke's Points and Miles. Although I have talked about today's cards a bit, I don't know if I've actually gone into detail why I applied for the card. If you follow my channel, you know I have a lot of cards, but you also know that I am constantly tweaking and moving things around in an effort to find that right balance or the right setup. This includes earnings, of course, but also redemption value, ease of use, and amount of work involved, and obviously the overall cost. So today I'm going to go over the 5 reasons why I got and I really like the Capital One Savor One card. Real quick, I do have a message for those of you that may have had some issues with being approved for credit cards. For those of you who have gone through the year struggling to get approved for virtually everything because of poor credit, don't let this be another year. Takeoff Financial provides a complete, done-for-you credit restoration process that's specifically designed to transform your poor personal credit into an excellent credit report that will make you irresistible when it comes to getting approved for your dream house, a car, personal loan, or getting funding to launch a business. Not only does Takeoff Financial help clean your credit report of negative items like collections and late payments that would normally stay on your credit report for nearly a decade, but in the process you receive a dedicated team assigned to you to get you to that 700 plus credit score club. Within Takeoff Financial's program, you won't have to send out countless letters, you won't have to get on the phone with the credit bureaus for hours each day, and you won't have to fax over documents to the agencies just to get results. Takeoff Financial has a dedicated staff that takes care of everything required to get your credit report clean without you having to lift a finger. And if Takeoff Financial isn't able to remove any negative items from your credit report after 6 rounds with them, they offer a money-back guarantee. Takeoff Financial has changed the lives of consumers all across the country. If you don't believe me, their 60-plus 5-star testimonials on Google of their clients' experience speaks for themselves. If you're interested in booking a free call, use the special link in the description below and fill out their consultation form. You'll then receive an email to schedule that free call. And if you do this, don't forget to mention that your Uncle Luke sent you. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get right into the 5 reasons why I acquired and immediately implemented the Capital One Savor One into my setup. Reason number 1 is the earnings. Now, most of you know the basic earnings of the card, but let me give you my personal take on these. The card gets 3% back on dining, which if you are in this game, you probably don't see that as anything special. There are a number of cards that can earn that on dining, and I'm not even sure how often I'll use this card for dining, but it's there if I need it. The big one is groceries. Obviously, there are quite a few different grocery cards out there, but once I go over all 5 of these reasons, you'll likely understand why this one is a great fit for the grocery category. I'd also like to mention that groceries is my largest everyday expense, and we spend between $1,000 and $1,500 a month just in this category. So an uncapped 3% is a great earning rate. Another category that could be of some interest is streaming services. I'm not sure if I will even use the Savor One for this, but in the case I need to earn more Capital One miles for, say, a Turkish Miles and Smiles redemption, that option is there. Finally, this card earns 3% back on a very broad entertainment category, which isn't all that common. I do go to sporting events and concerts, and I have to admit that I probably spend way too much on Bengals season tickets each year because I'm somebody who can't help but upgrade them every season. And this is a really easy way to generate value from a spending category that isn't on a lot of different cards. So there are a couple set it and forget it categories that help me earn without doing much of anything besides checking to make sure the auto pay kicked in. I understand this part can get lost in the shuffle, but I want to combine earnings with redemptions because I think these two go hand in hand. Now, I'm not going to blow smoke and tell you that Capital One has the best ways to redeem and the best partners in the game, because they don't. But in my system, Capital One offers the same top partners I need to fly all over the world, so I don't mind earning them as long as I stay diversified. But this card is essentially a cash back card that under certain circumstances that we'll discuss later, that cash back can be converted to Capital One miles. So in my opinion, as far as earnings go, this one is high on the value scale. It gives me options, and that's what a lot of us in this game want. Reason number 2 is this card does not have an annual fee. So many big league grocery cards that have the ability to earn transferable currencies have annual fees, and some have caps as well. That's because most families tend to spend a lot at the supermarket. City Premier is $95, American Express Gold is $250, and Chase won't even let you earn at supermarkets 9 months out of the year. Now, there are some solid cashback cards that don't carry a fee, but even some of those are capped. I feel like I have enough organic spend that I shouldn't be paying an annual fee on a card that's primary purpose is to earn points on spend. For me, fees are for benefits and tangible value, like lounge access and coupons. So this card, although it isn't the highest earning option, it works really well for me. It allows me to think less and work less when it comes to my highest spending category. I don't mind the mathematical gymnastics when it comes to traveling in style, but I don't need to pay to earn. It's just my situation. I push well over $100,000 a year through credit cards, so the points are going to be there. Reason number 3, in my opinion, is the biggest reason of all, and that is the synergistic effects this card created as soon as it entered my wallet. See, I already held the Capital One Venture X card. The Venture X was not one of my primary cards. It was more of an afterthought, or like a net neutral annual fee card just for lounge access. But now with the addition of an earning partner, this has kind of changed. The Venture X, with its double miles on that very large everything else category, complements all the 3X categories on the Savor One, making it, for me, one of the best duos in the game. And at the end of the day, they are cheap to hold. I also have to mention that I have held bank accounts with Capital One for years, and I do think they deliver great products when it comes to checking and high yield savings accounts. At the moment, I'm taking a percentage of everything this YouTube channel earns and placing it in a savings account that earns 4.3%, and that's my tax account that I'm going to pay my taxes with at the end of the year. It's easy, and it just sits there until next April, and it'll earn a little bit of interest. So again, I'm not saying that Capital One is better than any other bank, but I am saying that they got this part right. I don't think there are 2 other cards that complement each other at this price point. Reason number 4 is something I had to figure out through experience, and that brings me to this piece of advice. If you're gathering information on credit cards or any personal finance topic, please use your filter. There is nothing wrong with listening to someone talk about the product sheet of a credit card or a hotel loyalty program, but please consider those with real world experience above just a smiling mouthpiece. If you're never going to leave the country, say you're a convicted felon that can't get a visa or a xenophobe, then this may never apply to you. But if you want to visit the world, you want the financial tools for the job. The Savor One has no foreign transaction fees. Actually, no Capital One cards do. No one wants to pay 3% just for the privilege of spending their own money. But there's another tidbit I learned while down in Latin America earlier this year. The Capital One Savor One earns 3x at grocery stores worldwide. Some competitors only earn at US grocery stores. That's a huge difference when you walk over to the little supermarket to grab some essentials like a few cans of Balboa beer and sunscreen. And those of you that don't plan on visiting other countries, your travel taste may very well change. One day you may be sitting in a castle in Slovenia, grumbling about your Amex Gold not earning on your Krniska klobasa that you just bought at the local supermarket. And finally, reason number 5 isn't anything too uncommon, but it is a factor, and that's the extras. The Savor One has a $200 bonus, which can be converted to 20,000 Capital One miles. That's a pretty standard bonus for a card like this, and the card also has a 0% APR offer for 15 months. Now, I don't ever use those offers, but I understand that some benefit can come from that. The card also has complimentary Uber One membership through November, and it's going to earn 10x on Uber purchases. If that's something you normally do, then that's a great benefit for a no annual fee card. Now, if I remember correctly, you won't earn 10 times on Uber Eats overseas. That part, I think, is just in the US. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I learned that as well while down in Latin America. You guys know I ordered some late night tacos. Okay, guys, that is all 5 of my reasons why I got the Capital One Savor One. I think it's a great option for a lot of folks, and I'll add a bonus about my application experience. I applied for the card, and I was denied. I called Capital One to ask about it, and the lady told me to try again in 6 months. If you watch the channel, you know I don't wait, especially for someone like Capital One. I reapplied 30 days later, and I was approved. Yes, Capital One has a frustrating application process, but I don't think about that when I transfer those Capital One miles over to Flying Blue for business class seats on KLM flights. Guys, as always, I will leave my personal referral link in the description if you want to apply for this card. And please comment below what you think of the Savor One, or how have you taken advantage of this card if you're already using it. As always, guys, if you stayed around all the way to the end, I appreciate you. I thank every single one of you.